So good day, guys, and welcome back to my to Jay's and JJ's Kitchen. So today we're going to be doing smoking uh, pork butt. We're going to make some pulled pork and have pulled pork sandwiches. So that being said, we're going to come back and show you our ingredients. Okay, so for our ingredients here, you see I have a pork butt here, and I've got part of a pork shoulder that I found in the store. So we're going to smoke both of these together and get those tender and pulled and mix that meat together. Okay. So for our ingredients, you see our meat here, and you see I've got three containers here. All of them are uh, basically pork rubs. I like to use a mixture when I'm doing my rubs, or either I make a homemade mix that I make and put that on there. There again, it's up to your preference. Whichever rub that you like, by all means, that's the one that you go with. Uh, Something else I will say is I brine both of these cuts of meat. Did trying something new today. I brined them for about 24 hours in just a normal brine. There's the question, but it's up to what I think people what your personal preference, uh, how you actually season this cut of meat, right? If you watched any of my other videos, you know I kind of like flavor, and I like my seasonings to go throughout my meat. I don't want just the seasoning on the outside and no flavor inside, basically. So that's why I prefer and tend to basically most meats that I'm cooking, you'll see either I brine it or in big cuts of meat, I'll either brine it or inject it or some type of marinade and let that set overnight so that seasonings goes down to the bone. That's what you're looking for when you're looking for good cooking, right? So that being said, that's why I did a brine. But my other methods, how I did it in the past, I just basically injected the meat um, and put the rub on and let that sit overnight and come back, take it out of the fridge, let it sit for an hour, get my smoker ready, and put it in the smoker. There is the third method that I've seen people do. Um, Basically, you just take your meat and you clean it and you pack your rub on and you go straight to the smoker with it. I can tell you that I'm not a big fan of that. Excuse me, because I can pretty much tell you you're not going to get a seasoned meat throughout, right? You're going to get your rub once it starts. It takes a long time to smoke, but that really does not filter down to the internals of the meat. So that being said, that's just my take on smoking or just basically cooking meat and making sure you have flavor uh, all the way down to the bone, basically. Okay, so that being said, we're gonna basically come back and get our rub on here and get our smoker ready and get this thing in the smoker and get it cooking. We'll be back. So, okay, for our seasoning, I won't say seasoning, but our rub process, you're going to see me basically just try to cover the whole thing with our seasoning here. And like I said, I'm using three separate ones. And it's no big deal, no method behind this. Basically, you just want to get it covered. And I'm not worried about the coverage right now because we're going to come back and rub. We got to rub all of this make sure it's covering the whole thing, fully covered real well, right? So we're just gonna get this on there, and then like I said, we got to come back and rub it in, and we will be good to go. Just want to show you guys this process. Nothing hard about it. It's real easy. Comes down to smoking. That's kind of like a lazy way to summertime. Get outside and basically, do you some good cooking, and it's not very much work. So it's not much work at all, and it's not a lot of different seasonings combinations that you got to do. Like I say, I used a mixture. You can just use one, and that would be fine also. But just for flavoring, this is how I do it, right? Okay. Make sure I got a good coating on there that I can kind of pack in and get it in there to where it sticks, right? So I put foil down on a baking tray. That way I capture these spices so I can kind of just flip it around and make sure that's packed on there pretty good. Pretty much how I like it. This is what you're looking for. Of course, this skin part, it's not going to hold as well, but that's no big deal because that is going to crisp up on us. And basically, some people eat it, some people don't. So we're not really worrying about that skin cap right there. Just like that, this guy is ready. So we're gonna get our, that's the shoulder part. So we're gonna get our butt done, our pork butt done, like just the same way. And we're gonna get this in the smoker. So we'll be back. So and just like that, spin this around so you guys can see it. We've got our meat seasoned. We got coverage everywhere, like we want it. Got it packed in there pretty good. And this is ready to go into the smoker. So we're gonna go out here and get our wood chips in, and get our pan ready, get our apple juice in our, if you saw any of my other smoking videos, I use apple juice. And I'll put some like bell pepper, celery, and onion in that my liquid tray. So that'll kind of, you want to get, I like to get seasonings basically from everywhere and let it go through the meat. So we're gonna get our wood chips burning, get our liquid pan ready, and we'll be back. So okay guys, so we're back now with our smoked pork butt and our smoked, I guess I would call it a pork shoulder portion, right? I will say the shoulder came out a little over 7 hours of smoking. My internal temp got to 202, so I pulled it out. Well, let me backtrack. With both of these, when I got to a stall point, which was about 155 degrees on each one of them, pulled them out, wrapped them in foil, put them back in, let them continue to cook, slow cook in the smoker. And once this guy got up to 202, which was about 7 hours, I pulled it out, put it in a cooler, right? Continued to let this guy come up. And once this guy got to about 203, there again, I pulled it out and also put it in a cooler. And you want to let it sit in that cooler for hour to 2 hours at least. So I think I let this set for about an hour and a half, and this guy was probably in there for about 3 hours, and I pulled them out. So that being said, now it's just a matter of unwrapping them and pulling the meat, and that will really wrap it up. So once you get your meat pulled, you can take it, you can serve it like that, or it can you can take it and you can make sandwiches with it. A lot of people like sandwiches. Other people just like the meat with the sauce. So we've got two different sauces. We've got my original sauce, and I also made it's kind of like the Carolina mustard-based sauce. So we're gonna have those for, you know, to basically whoever likes the regular barbecue sauce, it'll be there, and whoever likes the Carolina type sauce, it's there also. Uh, that way, everybody's happy, and we'll hopefully enjoy what we have. So this is what it looks like here. So now we've just got to basically get that bone out of there, right? See how the meat falls off that bone? There's a bone, clean bone. We're good. Now we just got to get this meat basically pulled. This is basically all I'm going to do with it. And like I say, I won't sauce the whole thing just because of, you know, I don't want to put barbecue sauce, my barbecue sauce on if a person wants the mustard sauce, or either I may separate it, equal out the meat, and put half of it barbecue and half of it the mustard sauce. But that being said, we're going to get this all pulled here. You can do it with your hands if it's tender like that, and once it reaches that temp like that, it just pulls apart, and you have your pulled pork already. So we're just going to get this all pulled, and then I will probably make a sandwich and show you that. That being said, stay tuned.